So welcome back to another video tutorial about the CS3, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can run through trains around our little oval. As you see, I changed it a little bit. I put in the other station, and I added 3 tracks to that station. But for now we're only going to use the upper 2, so track 3 and track 4. And what will we achieve here? Well, we want 3 trains to run around this oval continuously without colliding with each other. How do we do that? Well, in fact it is quite simple. We had create some events for the bottom station, and we're going to use these events for the upper 2 tracks and the upper 2 signals here and switches. So when I open events, there we have it in test. We have here our test S1 to red and test S2 to red, and I want when I close this for now, I want a test S test, where it is, test S3, this one, and the test S4 to turn to red when the train is leaving, in the same with the same specs as for those two, so with a 2-second delay. The simplest way to do that, I open events and I go into the edit mode of it. I open the test S2 that controls the signal test S2 here. So I open it, and when you look at this little window, you see here copy. Now when I click this copy, it will copy everything that's in it and add a +1 behind it, because now it has created 2 of the same events, and all I have to do is change it. So I click here, and first what I do is lose the of course the +1, and it's going to be the test S3 that I want to change, so I name it test S3. I do it so now it's called test S3 to red, and it should happen. I drag this a little bit down here, so it should happen when it leaves this contact point, so C3. Now how do we change that? There are 2 ways to do it. We can just simple take this one, put it here, and it will automatically turn to C3. But when your layout is very large and you have not direct access to the screen where the contact point is, and it's too difficult, then you can click here. There's opening a menu, and you can change it here. When you click here on the little folder behind the S3, you see all the contact points on the layout, and you choose the one that you need. In our case it's test C3, so that is okay. So now it is happening when test C3 is deactivated, then this one shall turn to green, and it's all about the test S3 and not the test S1. So again, how do we do it? We can drag this one in, but when you drag this one in here, it will not replace this one, it will just add in the list, and I don't want that. Because then I have to change all the specs as well. I want this one to change. This one to change to S3, and this one to change to S3. Simple, click on it, and then this window will open, and here we have a drop-down menu where we can choose our test S3. Just simple choose it. All the other things stay the same. I do it the same for this one. Change this one to test S3. Okay. And there you have it. I have created an event from another event for the test S3 signal. Now the same I want to do for the test S4. Now I can close this and open yet any other of those turn red events. But while this one is open, simple, I didn't close it yet. Simple click on copy again. It will make a copy of what you now have changed, and again it puts a +1 behind it. Just take that away, change this one oops, this one to 4, S4, okay, and drag this one. Now I'm going to click it and show you here. Open the folder, choose the test C4, okay, and okay, and there you have it. Now it's test C4, and this one, open it, open the folder, choose test S4. All the other items stay the same. Here again, drop down menu, click on the S4, close it, and there we have it. Now I can close this, and when I open my test, oh, there's this test, and now you see there's a little dot at the bottom as well. There are two, so I have it means there are two pages, and in the second page I can find my test S3 red and my test S4 red. So I close it and I try it. This one is green. When I leave, I wait 2 seconds and it has to turn to okay. There's going something I have not. I will. What is going on here? Let's look at it. Close this one. It's red. There it is green, and it goes. There's something going wrong here. I have to. It turns to red when it enters. Oh, I know what happened here. I want to test this one. It's red. I enter this one. It turns to green. Why? And back to red. Okay, I'm going to back to. Now you can see that not everything is going as smooth as you think. So when I I see it here. The contact point is turned to yellow. It has to be gray, of course. And the same thing will happen here. Yes, and because that's a difference. This the only thing when you change the trigger automatically will go into that it is activated. So you have to make sure that it is on deactivation. Now everything should work. This one is green, so when I leave it takes 2 seconds and then it will turn to green again. My train is entering here. It goes to green. When I leave it takes 2 seconds and it will turn to red. So there you have it, a little bit on the spot tweaking and bug fixing. So make sure when you change these things, and especially when you work with the trigger points, that the trigger points are actually what you want it to be, activated or deactivated. And it, when you change it or edit a trigger point, it will always begin in its first state, and that is activate. So again, I will go to the previous menus, and now I want to have the same things I have here for these the entering these tracks. So when I enter this one, these two switches should turn, and this one shall has to turn to green, so this train can leave. I want that for track 3 also. So I use in this case track 1. I open it, I put it in the edit mode, and it all should happen when the train is entering on when the train is entering here on track C3, then this one, these two switches should turn, and this signal should return. All have their 2 seconds delay in it, so that will not change. I do have to change the trigger in this case. So when I open it and I click this one, it has to be test C3. Okay, and it is when it's triggered in this case, so yellow. So this is correct. So when I enter C3, then these two should change to red. Well, and they are red, but they are the wrong turnouts. I have to use 3 and T4. So first I will change the first one, and T3. Okay. And this one I will turn to T4. Okay. So now I have test T3 turning to red and test T4 turning to red, and after that the test S4 shall turn to green. So click this one, drop it down, choose test S4. There you have it. And of course I want when the train is arrived, that the T3 here should wait 2 seconds before it goes. That is arranged by the first one, and that also has to be T3 and in green, because it is green and it should stay green for 2 seconds before it's turning to red. Okay, again we can test this. So I will close this one, and when I enter this one, I wait 2 seconds before the turnouts will switch, and it will take 2 seconds before this one is green, and when I leave the station, then it will take 2 seconds before this one turns to red. And now when it comes back, I want that the same thing will happen what I created here for entering track 3. So it's still open. I just click my edit my event, and I can copy this one. I open the text menu and lose the +1, and I say enter track 4. Enter track 4. And of course, there it is, enter track 4. I have to change the other one to enter track 3. That's what I forget, so I will do that in a little while. So it should happen when the train enters test C4. So I'm gonna change this to test C4 here. Okay. The trigger should be it all should happen when the trigger is activated, so that's okay. What should happen is that T3 and T4 should turn to green. So I change this one to green, and I change this one to green. Okay, and it should turn test S3 to green as well after 2 seconds. And of course I want to wait it, so this T3 I will turn to red because it is red, and it should stay 2 seconds back before it switches test T3 to green. Okay, I will close this one, and I go to the test, and I have a track enter track 1, enter track 2, enter track 4, and I have those 3, so I'm missing enter track 3 because I didn't change that. So I will open one, or doesn't matter what, test C3, enter track 1. So I have it, but now I've lost the enter track. The enter track 1 is now become enter track 3. So I will change this first to enter track 3. So that's okay. Now I have enter track 2, 3 and 4, and I lost my enter track 1. There is a possibility that it didn't have the group assignment with it, so it's that it is put in all. So I will check that first. then you can see how this goes when you lost something and you have not give it the right group allocation. It will you can find it always under all and just search for it. So I do the search and it is enter, so I say enter, and there I can see enter track 2, enter track 3 and enter track 4, and there is no enter track 1 anymore, so it's gone. Okay, now I make sure when you use it stays here, the search. So when I close it now, I say okay, that's and I go to test here. All I see is only the enters, because the search will stay what you give into it. So you have to make sure that you clear this box so you can see all your items. Okay, so enter track 1 is disappeared. We're gonna create it same way as we did this ones. I just open one. This is enter track 1. I just copy it, open this one, and I lose this one. And of course now I will name it enter track 1. Of course, enter track 1 is happening. So this is enter track 1 when this one is activated. Oh, it's sometimes you're too close to the edge and it will take up other things that you don't want. So let's scoot this a little bit up so I have a little bit more room here. Enter track 1. It should happen when entering track 1. I put it here. Make sure that it is yellow. Yes. Of course, test 1 and test 2 are already set. This is okay. All is okay. Test S1. So when it's entering, these two should turn to red. That is test S2 of the test S1. Yeah, that's okay. It should only turn to red, of course. Red, there it is. And this one should turn to red, of course. There it is. And this one should stay on green because that's it when it arrives. So, okay. Now I close this one. I go to my tests and I check if everything is in order. Now I have enter track 1, enter track 2, enter track 3 and enter track 4. Now I'm going to make sure that's all correct. Enter track 1. When C1 is activated, then we wait and when it is activated, because these are green, of course, it stays green 2 seconds, then it switches both ones to red, and then this one should turn green, and it is still on S1. That's this one, so I have to change this one to S2. That was what I was wanted to do earlier on. So now this one is correct. We check enter track 2. That's this one. So C2, make sure that test S1 is turned green, test T2 is turned green, and test S1 is turned green. So and this one should after 2 seconds, so this one has to stay red for 2 seconds, and that is when I open it correct. So this one is already also already good. Enter track 3, that's this one here. When I enter track 3, what should happen? When I enter this one, those two will be green, so they stay green for 2 seconds, then turn to red, and then the S4 is turned to green, so that's also good. And for the enter track 3 here, when it enters, those two will red and they stay red for 2 seconds, then switch, and then the S3 is turned to green. Okay, so all of this is okay. Now we're going to see what will happen when we set the stage for our trains. Here we are entering a train that is running, and we see if I enter here and I put those two, I say that this train is coming from this station, now is running round, and it enters here. So because it's set for here. So it will enter this station. Hop. It will take 2 seconds, and then the switches will turn to green, and this one will turn to green. This train is leaving. 2 seconds later, this one will turn to red. This train is running its course. It enters here. Those two turnouts are untouched because we have not write any events for them, so they will stay red in this case. So we only use the upper two tracks. So it enters in this station. It enters this contact point, waits 2 seconds, throws those switches and this turner of this signal, so this train can leave, and it runs here into this station where this one had left the bottom track, but it will enter the bottom track, activate this. Those two turners will be switched, and this signal will be switched, and so this train is leaving, and it makes its course, and it enters here on track 3, and it will take 2 seconds before those turnouts will switch, and it will take 2 seconds for this one is switching, so this train can leave, and after 2 seconds it will turn red, and this one will enter, and so on and so on and so on. So you see, with 8 events we can run 3 trains on this oval continuously. Now I do apologize for some of the messiness in this video, but that's programming with the C3. You saw it live. You were witness of what happens when you make a little mistake. Sometimes it's very hard. Now we have only 8 events, so it's you can find your mistake quite easily and correct it. But when I show you my events, and I say I make it, I go to all, these are all the events I have, all the little dots, they are all screens. So I have about, well, I can tell you, I can drag it to 4 mostly, most of the time. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 80 times 16. That's the amount of my events. So you can, when I make a mistake somewhere, it is a puzzle to fix it. And where do I all need it for? I will show you. It took me about a good time of a year. I'm not always programming, of course. I run my trains when I want, and do some close this one, do some scenery work and that kind of things, of course. But this is my layout, and all the events that you saw, that I show you just now, they are for that I can run 5 trains on this layout without colliding. So when I think I can show you, I place a train here, I place a train here, I will place a train here, and I will place a train here. Now, when a train in this in my layout enters this contact point, so this station here, it will check which one is free, and it will set the switches for that track. When my train is leaving and it enters this one, now it's going to check which station is free, and which tracks are free, and then it will pick a route. And when I leave this station and I follow the switches, in my case here, and it stops here in this station. So when I click this one, it will look for a track that's free from this station to another station. So when I leave here, it means I have to stop here, because here there's a red light. And this is a little in-between station, so I made it so that here the train stops about between 5 and 25 seconds. There are several routes with several delay times. Now I can see that I'm going here to this station, and oh, it's turned green in the meantime, so my train can leave here, and it goes to this station and it stops here. Now when I enter here, it will check whether one of the other tracks is occupied, and if it does, it will go and leave or set a train free, the train that's waiting here free. When there is nothing in this station, then nothing will happen. And it was a long puzzle to make sure that there's always one train in this station, so there always will be a train that is going to leave. This one is going around here, enters this one. Well, if I go over those contact points, then they turn red. It goes around here. It activates this contact point, so this switch is automatically set for entering this station, and my train will come here to a halt. And that means that the other train on this platform will always leave. So there's always a train on the move in my layout, and I tell you, it took me a long time to program this. We have created for our little tester track 8 events. I have about 250 events, and every time when something goes wrong, it took me days to find out where the problem lays. And that's the weak point of the CS3 from Märklin. It is not as easy as the iTrain and so on programs on the PC, where it's all a little bit easier. This is very, very complex, but it is fun and it keeps you off the street. So that's a little background story of my side, what I'm doing. And for the next video, we are going to make still use the 3 trains that run around this oval constantly, but now we're going to use macros. So the program is going to choose which track is free here, and chooses a random track to put a train, and from that track the train that's waiting will make its round, and when it's going to come here, it will check which track is free and choose another random track. Then it's going to be very difficult, and then you will know what I mean when you have to make no mistakes anymore, because it's going to be very complex. But that's for the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and that you will subscribe, ring the bell, so the other videos will come to you. And for now, thank you for watching.